Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
All right, folks, welcome to a brand new episode of the Frankly Francisco podcast. I am your host, Francisco. Today, we have another guest on the show. He is a artist. He goes by the name Jack Burton. And if a lot of folks were 80s kids, you would know that is from one of the best underrated movies ever, Big Trouble in Little China. So, folks, I would like to introduce you to Jack Burton. How we doing today, Jack?
Yo, blessed by the best. Never stress. You know what I mean? Like, life is great. Life is good.
So tell me, Zach, what are some of your inspirations for what you do right now when it comes to hip hop?
My biggest inspiration is the art of creativity. Just mastering being creative in your own space. You know what I mean? Being able to express yourself in a manner where, like, a lot of people can resonate with. You know what I mean? Just like you were saying earlier, how like there's a certain fan base for all different types of even hip hop. You know what I mean? So for me to resonate with a lot of people that could relate to the music that I put out there, just the vibe, the energy, the sound, it's like, it it makes sense to me. You know what I mean? Like, I just love to create when I can.
So what at age did you pick up the pen and decide, this is what I'm going to do? This is what I want to do. This is how I want to express myself when it comes to my music.
Well, the age of 13, that's when I first started, like, writing a lot of rhymes. And then I had a karaoke machine, and I just started, like, recording some songs that I did off of, like, different instrumentals, like Mos Def, Talib Kweli instrumental. That was, like, the first joint that I recorded that I remember. And I was just like, man. Then I kept doing it. Then I met up with other cats that was doing the same thing, and we all was just recording on the karaoke machine. And next thing you know, I'm doing rap battles. I'm in rap battles. I was actually in a movie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's called Hip Hop for Life. Directed by David Velo Stewart. We actually was working on an album too with me, my cousin in New York. He go by Radius, and my other brother Drastic. We came out with Mach 3. That was our group at the time, and I mean the rest took off from there.
So you from NY?
Well, actually, I was originally born in Virginia, Alexandria, Virginia, and I traveled a lot.
Okay.
Pops was in the Coast Guard, so I lived in California, New Mexico, a little bit of DC.
So you got inspired by a whole different kind of hip hop.
Yeah. I'm like what I used to hear, like a box of crayons. You just got different colors. You know what I mean? You just all about picking your favorite. And just.
So what style influenced you the most right now? Like, what style of rap do you do? Because right now you have drill. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of different styles right now that are not relative to how it used to be. So what type of particular style do you have right now? Are you more a lyricist, or you're more about just the beat, to a song and add a couple lyrics and that's it?
I'm more of a lyricist. I consider myself. Some people would say when they hear me, they compare me to AZ, a little bit of J. Cole, Talib, in that arena, so to speak. So I definitely consider myself like more of a lyricist, but I do have songs where, I could entertain, not the drill, so to speak, but just kind of like that Drake kind of sound.
You can adapt essentially then.
Yeah. I like to allow myself to be a little bit more versatile as far as the beats that I choose.
Yeah.
But I'm still maintaining me. You know what I mean? Not going along with the whole wave everybody else going along with. You know what I mean?
Right. So growing up, so obviously your name is from the 80s movie.
Yeah.
But growing up, like, what was the artist that inspired you the most to be who you are?
Oh man. Believe it or not, I grew up most on West Coast music. Like, I grew up on a lot of like NWA, Too Short, a little bit of D Nice. Then I grew up on Outkast. And then as I got older, then I started like branching out of it once I started like watching Rap City and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and then there were just certain artists that really started gravitating.
Bro, you said Rap City.
Yes,
Wow.
you feel me? Before the
Wow.
Basement, it was just Rap City with
It
Joe
was
Claire. Then it was Big Les.
That
Then
took me
Tigger.
all the way back.
You
bro.
feel me? I'm old school, man. You know what I'm saying?
That
So
took me all the way back. bro.
right. So
So you remember the box too? Remember the box?
of
You used
course.
to call in and have to
Of
pay to get your
course.
music, man.
Of
A lot of these
course.
cats don't know, man. We used to be
No.
we used to be hanging out in the basement
Mm-hmm.
and just have the box on. Everybody
Yeah.
just be kicking it, and everybody just
Yeah.
be sitting there just listening to music
Yeah.
vibing, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, it was a different time. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
Music has changed a lot to the point where I really don't like a lot of the stuff that's out. They'll come up with a dope beat, but it's not even
Yeah.
their beat. They're buying their beat from somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Makes
and
sense.
then it's just, to me, the music is not what it used to be. And a lot of these artists don't care anymore.
No.
You
Because
know?
it's about making money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you were saying before, it just became like a 9 to 5, like a regular job now. It's like, where's the creativity? Where's the fun? You know what I'm saying? Whereas when you first started, it was like you weren't even thinking about money. You wasn't thinking about none of that. It's like, man, I just enjoy just expressing myself, creating dope beats, spitting, freestyle, all of that. Now it's like,
I just think it's been so commercialized right now. The
Yeah.
music now, you hear rap songs and commercials that they're taking and they're making it fun now in these commercials now, and it's pretty sad how hip hop has turned right now.
yeah.
You got a lot of these dudes is just promoting it's lean and you know what I'm saying,
Lean.
Percocets and all this stuff. And half these guys aren't even doing the drugs that they're talking about doing.
Right,
But
right.
a lot of them are. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
lot of
you
them
can
are.
tell. Like,
Yeah,
you
some
get
of
an
them are,
interview,
but
you
some
can
of them
tell.
ain't. They just want to keep up with the Joneses, and these kids that are coming out don't care anything about the history of hip hop and the struggles that these hip hop artists had to try to get out there. Like if I was to tell a kid, if I was to say Sugar Hill Gang, these kids today gonna look at me like, who's that?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. And then, there's a whole backstory even with that. Even though Sugar Hill Gang was known for the hippie, the ha, but a lot of people don't know that Grandmaster Caz is responsible for penning that song.
Yeah.
He wrote the lyrics, and they just heard it, took it, and made it their own. So that's really Grandmaster Caz's song. A lot of people don't know.
Well, yeah, but they popularized that song. So what they did is and this goes on today. People capitalize other people's stuff.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
yes.
They did it in the 50s too.
Yeah.
You had a lot of black artists that came out with phenomenal music.
Yes.
And what these white artists would do, these record companies
Yes.
would take that music and give it to the white person to sing it,
Man,
to make it, higher on the charts.
bro.
You had a lot of cats that sued and won because of that.
Yes.
So
I'm so glad.
no royalties, things that they didn't, they should have got that they didn't get.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's the same thing now. You got cat. Look at Tracy Chapman. She just sued Nicki Minaj and won because Nicki
I didn't know
sampled.
that.
Yeah, Nicki sampled one of her songs and never paid her for it.
Oh,
And then
wow.
everybody got
Typical.
on. And this is what kills me about people. People are sheep. People are sheep when it comes to
Sheeples.
certain. All of Nicki's fans came out and was trying to go after Tracy Chapman. I looked at these people like, you guys are out of your mind. Nicki Minaj can't hold a candle to Tracy Chapman when it comes to music. You know what I mean?
Can't
But
argue with
everybody came out going, "Oh well, she shouldn't have sued her. She was lucky that Nicki used her music." And I'm like, "Yo, like what y'all talking
The
about?"
wiring is off, man. But look at the generation we living in. You know what I'm saying? They don't take the time to understand the history.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? How everything progressed till now. All they know is the now.
right.
They don't know what built up to the now. So they're going to, of course, look at it blindsided, one-sided, ignorant to the fact that, dang, there was a artist that originated this sound, and this person just made it hot. And now we just see, Nicki Minaj was the one that started. So if someone is mad that they took her song or she took her song or whatever the case, then she just a hater and all of this. Like, man, y'all have no idea. Like, there's a root to everything.
So right now, when it comes to your music, do you have any new music out? Do you have an LP out? Or are you working on anything right now?
Yes, actually, I have an EP out titled Self-Awaited.
Okay.
Produced by Burner and Sam Goody, two phenomenal producers here from Cleveland. They came together, man, like that's like my first EP ever solo by myself that I ever put out. It's on stream. It's on all streaming platforms. It's on Bandcamp. You know, I'm actually part of a group called Primal Rage with Doc Remedy and Hella and among other artists. So that's pretty much like what I have going on right now as far as musically.
So your work is solo or is just all group?
Well, it's solo, but I've also did a lot of features with you know, other artists from Primal Rage and outside of that. Like I was actually in another big group before Primal Rage called Rulership. And this was back in the early 2000s where it was me, this white cat by the name of Bumps, who's a phenomenal gospel rapper now. We was in a group called The Others, and then there was another group called State of Mind, which my cousin in NY was a part of. And it was just a big camp. We didn't perform at Peabody's, like all over. They even won like.
Man, they still got Peabody's here, man.
You know what? I think so, but they're not doing anything like they used to do back then. You know what I mean?
I remember Peabody's used to have everything, man. They used to have rock concerts, rap concerts, everything back in the day.
They had all of that.
A lot of people don't understand the history that Cleveland has when it comes to music. There's a reason the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is here in this city. I don't think Cleveland gets enough credit for the artists that it produces out of here.
Right.
You know, it's just there's so many talented people here, man. It just I just interviewed a cat last week, Honesty Blade. We just had a conversation, man. This cat is talented. Have you worked with him in the past before?
Honesty Blade?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Haven't I? Like, like me and him, like we on the same frequency, man. Like when you put me and him on the record, like all you gotta do when you get a chance, go check out Quotable Funk. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Is that on
Quotable
YouTube right
Funk.
now? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Quotable Funk.
Quotable Funk. Check that out, and then you'll see.
For sure.
You'll see what I'm talking about.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything lined up for yourself? I know with the pandemic, things have been tough to get out there, to get yourself out there and get seen and get, you know, do shows. But are you trying to work on anything virtually now? Are you trying to have any virtual shows? Like, are you on IG right now? Do you do live? Like, do you go IG live and, you know, do a music session? Because I know a lot of artists that go on there, they'll have a music session live and they'll do a couple songs so they can get their voice heard. Are you on something like that right now? Do you do something like that?
Not as of right now, but in 2019, like I was doing a lot of like Facebook Live freestyles. I did some IG stuff. I actually was even doing stuff on this app called Rap Chat.
Oh, okay.
I think that's Charlie Clips's app that he started where like there's a whole bunch of artists online. Like they have a whole bunch of instrumentals that you can just like pretty much pick and you can just record on there and just send it out there and then people comment on it. Yeah, so I got some stuff on that, but that was like I said, that was like 2 years ago. So I haven't.
So where you are now? What's the biggest streaming service that you use right now to promote yourself?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. Like I haven't really been promoting like I should. You know what I mean? I kind of stepped back just because personal reasons and life, and you know what I mean, took me in a kind of different direction. So now I'm slowly but surely like getting back into it now.
Well, sometimes life will smack you in the face, man.
Oh my God. Like I still feel the hand like on both cheeks, you know what I'm saying?
Sometimes it'll smack in your face. Sometimes we got to make a comeback, man. It's like me in January. I got diagnosed with COVID, man. It was pretty bad.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was hospitalized as well. And it put life in its perspective.
Yeah.
Man. So,
definitely.
I was doing this before I got COVID, but me getting COVID made me kick this into overdrive and wanting to build this as a brand and make it something. And, it takes time for anything.
Absolutely.
But there's no shame in coming back and building yourself back up because you can always come back stronger than what you were the last time.
Facts.
And especially if you have a passion for the business and you have a passion for the music industry, man, sky's the limit, man. You just got to go out there. You don't have to be mainstream for people to love your music. You understand what I'm saying?
I definitely get that. I mean, you got a lot of artists out now, like Tech Nine, who comes to mind? Independent artists. You know what I mean? And the fact that he even went mainstream in his own right just off his grind alone.
Underground,
like,
yeah. He's
underground.
stuff,
Yeah, underground, but yet like a lot of people are Tech Nine fans.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a lot of artists like going that independent route, man. It's just the freedom of being able to have your own creative direction and control over how you want to put your music out.
But believe it or not, though, these cats, I know a lot of people don't like them, but these cats, they're still underground, but these cats have such a big following. The Juggalos, ICP, Insane Clown Posse. Dude, like, I personally don't listen to their music.
Me neither.
I got a friend of mine, though, he's a used Juggalo. Like,
loves
ICP. But they built their following on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So they're out of Detroit. But it's if you can build that following, man,
yes.
you can bring something different. See, they brought something different. Tech Nine brought something different.
Yes.
You got these artists that can bring something different, bring something different to the game.
Right.
And you can build that following.
Right.
So for you right now, style wise, are you adapting to anything that's going on now, or are you still staying true to yourself as an artist and the work that you're doing right now?
I would say more staying true to myself, but I adapt a little bit. I guess it just depends on the vibe, the beat, but overall, I'm still going to stay true to myself and what I know. And like, actually, I'm more in the direction of just getting out of the whole wave of bars, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't have to talk about like how dope I am and lyrically you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been there and done that. You know, I proved myself already in that arena. You know what I mean? I was, like I said, being in rap battles. I don't know if you're familiar with the event that they have every year at Columbus. Oh my God, I think I don't know if is that or is it the what's the other one in Columbus? I think it's a Scribble Jam, but it's something else. Scribble Fest or something like that.
You bring all these artists together to rap
Yeah. I think it's called. Oh my God, I think it's called Scribble Fest. I think it is. And they have different events. They have like areas where you can perform. They got b-boys. They got graffiti artists. They got a whole bunch of stuff going on. And then they had this challenge called Spit Your Best 16. I was on that. I won. And got a lot of noise just off of that. So in my mind, it's like, you know what? I can obviously spit a 16 that's going to wow a lot of people. So I don't have anything to prove. That's what I feel like.
So do you enjoy freestyle, though? Is something that you can, like, off the top of your head?
Yeah.
You can do very well?
Yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I am a little rusty because I haven't done it in so long. But once I get in that groove, like, you know.
So when we talk freestyle, to me, I know you guys have heard of him. He's one of the best freestyle artists ever. And a lot of cats don't get his due enough credit. Blind Fury. Have you ever heard of Blind Fury before?
Yeah, Blind Fury. He nice, but I'm going to keep it 100. As far as freestyle wise, I don't think anybody can hold a candle to Juice.
Really?
I don't think so. Juice is like my favorite freestyler. Like, I swear I seen a random battle on YouTube somebody posted. It was like lost in the archives between him and Supernatural. And when I tell you, like, the level of, like, are you serious that I was on, the fact that Juice got robbed by Supernatural in a battle, this guy Juice is so raw that people thought that he came in that battle with written stuff.
Wow.
That's how potent his freestyle is. He destroyed Supernat. Yeah, I'm putting it out there. He destroyed Supernat. Juice got robbed. He got robbed in that battle. Like, he literally killed him. And yet Supernatural won. Now, don't get me wrong. Supernatural, he's definitely like a charismatic freestyler. He's a performer. He's an entertainer. He know how to entertain the crowd. But when it come to actual freestyling and just bars, battle, all of that, man, Juice hands down.
So you're a child. You're a child of history when it comes to hip hop, correct?
Yes.
So top 5 artists all time for you right now.
Oh man, all time. Ooh.
Off the
So
top of your
many.
head, they ain't got to be in any order.
In
Just
any
top
order.
5.
I'd put Nas up there. To put, of course, Rakim up there. Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z. Man,
It's tough.
I know because it's like it's so many that I just consider like, yeah. Black Thought, Common.
Common.
Yeah.
Okay. So mine, I'm gonna tell you mine off the top of my head right now. It's gonna be no particular order. Rakim is on my Mount Rushmore.
Of
You're gonna
course.
have Biggie because when Biggie came out, Biggie was so talented, his life got cut short.
Of course.
Pac is on that list.
Of course.
Eminem is on that list just because
Of
based
course.
on his lyricist,
Mhm.
his wordplay. Period.
Yes.
And then for me, and this may sound funny, a lot of people don't understand, but I put Big Pun up there
Of course.
and the reason I say Big Pun is a lot of people don't get. I mean, a lot of people give him love, but they don't understand. This man set the way for Spanish rappers. You know what I mean? He came out and he just lit everybody up.
Of course.
You know what I mean? His wordplay is stupid.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But that's just the top 5 off the top of my head. There's a bunch more. You can keep going.
Yeah.
But the ones, those, and then X, I know my man X just passed.
Man, rest in power. I can't believe that, man.
But he would normally be on that list as well because X came out in a time, man, where he hyped everybody up, man.
Oh.
He went hard with everything he did.
God.
But he always had a message behind his music
Absolutely.
too. So he, all that pain that he had growing up, and he
Yeah.
told stories about his childhood.
Yeah.
Like Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. It's one of my
Yeah.
all-time favorite hits from him, period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a powerful thing.
Yes.
And he told stories, and I think that's the problem with now. There's no stories being told in hip hop anymore.
You're right, man. You're absolutely right. And that's why I appreciate cats like Nas that still could make songs that there's still a story behind it. You know what I mean? Like, we can go back to old from like I Gave You Power. You know what I'm saying? Just on Illmatic, like One Love, like, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, to this day, my favorite song from Nas is The Ether. Period. To me, ain't nothing topping that. What he did to Jay-Z in that song is just, to me, that's the all-time greatest this track of all time is The Ether. To me, that's just my opinion.
Right.
That's just my opinion.
Right. No, I feel it though.
Yeah, because he came for Jay-Z's head with that one.
Yeah, and then, well, you know what? I can agree with you on that because of the fact that Nas only did one song, right? But Jay-Z did a couple where he went even like below the belt on a few joints. It's like the Takeover wasn't enough for him. He had to go above and beyond on some other tracks. It's just like, dang, man, like you couldn't just leave it off with Takeover.
I think Jay-Z, I think he's to me, he wouldn't be who he is unless when Biggie died, that's when he took over. But if Biggie was still alive, Jay-Z wouldn't be where he is right now. I promise you.
I can't debate that. I can't dispute
he would not be. He took over. It was fate or whatever you want to call it. But when Big died, he filled that void.
Yeah.
He took over. He filled that void. But if Big was alive today,
right,
Jay-Z wouldn't be. He wouldn't be on the level that he is now. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't be on that same level that he is now. It's just that's just my opinion. You know what
I can't refute that. You know what I mean? Like Biggie did open doors. You know what I mean? For cats like Sean Carter to now all of a sudden just.
But Sean was rapping a long time though. He was in a group I think it was called Hawaii Sophie Fame.
Yeah.
I seen them videos.
Original flavor,
yeah. Where he was rocking the the African amulet.
Yeah.
And, had the Hawaiian shirt on and all that stuff, man.
That was the name of the song was Hawaiian Sophie.
One of the name of the song was Hawaiian Sophie Fame. Yeah. So I mean, listen, I'm a child of hip hop, man. But I've adapted. I've listened to everything, man. I grew up listening to Motown. You know,
Oh yeah.
I grew up listening to music from the 70s, 80s, 90s.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To me, I think rap started taking a turn in the late 2000s.
Mm.
You know what I mean? When it
Yeah.
went from spitting, a message to it just becoming about club bangers.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I'm
it.
saying?
Money,
But
money.
you have to give artists credit for adapting to that. Look at Flow Rider. He was like, you know what?
He shut the clubs down.
He shut the clubs down. The dude became a multi-millionaire off club bangers.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
He was like, you know what? I'm gonna work with what I got.
Yeah.
And he
Smart.
made a success. He made a success
Smart.
out of it.
Very
You know
smart.
what I mean? So a lot of these guys commercialize themselves to make the money because, like you said, at the end of the day, it's about getting that bread.
Yeah. 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 It's like, and then it also ties into like maturity. Like when you getting older, you know what I mean? Like the stuff you used to be on when you was young and just like young, having fun underneath the sun and all of that. Like you wasn't thinking about that. And now all of a sudden it's like, all right, you're getting older now, got kids, got a family. So now I got to really just put what I need to do in a much more organized perspective. And I have to capitalize off of it in the best way I know how to.
So what are you working on right now that people can look out for coming out for you in the future here?
Well, I don't have anything per se that I'm working on right now. I'm actually just more so in the process of actually ghostwriting for one of my producers, Burner, because he's coming out with something.
You just said ghostwriting.
Yeah, he wanted me to. I know he wanted me to. He wanted me to pen for him or whatnot and come out with something. So it's like, but it's all love because he's not a rapper anyway.
Listen,
you know
but to me, you know what? To me, ghostwriting thing is all overrated.
Yeah.
If you look at artists all the time, see, they look at rap game differently from R&B. Because if you look at R&B or soul, Beyonce don't write a lot of her music.
No, she don't.
Giving her from somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I don't see the difference is it's a machismo thing when I think it's when
Yeah.
it comes to rap. It's the pride thing.
Right,
I write
right.
my own lyrics. So what? If you to me, you can there's a pride that you can take in that, but if you can rap somebody else's stuff, sometimes what they write, it may not sound good coming out of their mouth. So somebody else can take that and run with it.
Yeah.
You're still gonna get credited for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're the one who wrote the song. Well,
right.
Technically, you might not, because if you're a ghostwriter, they're not going to give you credit for
right,
it.
Right.
They'll say it was their own. You know what I mean? And then take credit for it at the end of the day. But at least you know when you hear that on the radio, you'd be like, that was my joint.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it's like, you know what? That's my creativity that he's like, showing respect for just by putting it out there. And then if it's real, if he come back to you like, man, I appreciate you.
You know who one of the biggest artists in the 80s was, right? In 90s before he died was Eazy-E.
Oh, yeah.
That dude ain't write none of his music.
That was all MC Ren,
that was all
Ice
MC
Cube.
Ren, yeah, Dre and all that.
Yep.
He ain't writing any of his music.
Right.
He really wasn't a lyricist. He wasn't a rapper like that.
Yeah. He was a businessman. I looked at him as a businessman.
Exactly, but he got but nobody bagged him about not writing his own music.
No.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So things have changed from
Yeah.
what it used to be.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Now
Definitely.
it's a pride thing that comes into play. But listen, I enjoyed having this conversation, man.
Yes, man.
We can keep talking, man, for
Yes.
hours when it comes to this thing.
Yes.
But look out for Jack Burton, man. He's making a comeback here. He'll be, hopefully soon, he'll be back in the studio, making some hits for everybody to listen to. So,
Yes.
Jack, is there any social media outlets where people can follow you and your progress of you coming back into the fold, into the music?
Well, like I said, you can check me on IG, JACBUR10. You could check me out on, like I said, you could listen to my album on YouTube, Self-Awaited, primarage.com. There's a lot of stuff being updated and posted. That's where you really want to go if you want any updates on what I'm doing. Is primarage.com.
You hear that,
Definitely.
folks? Firsthand, primarage.com is where you want to go if you want to hear updates from Jack Burton.
Yes.
So I appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you for coming on. I love to show love to everybody.
Yes,
Whether you're a music artist, whether you're an actor, whether you're a poet, doesn't make a difference.
I appreciate
We want to
that,
give
man.
an outlet to those people on this show. This is what we're about. And I've said it since day one.
Mm-hmm.
To me, celebrities are overdone. I want those cats who are still reaching for that
Real
brass
talk.
ring and who's still trying to
Real
go to that
talk.
next level. So I
That's
appreciate you
real.
stopping.
I
in and
appreciate
sitting
you,
down with me.
man. Definitely, man. I appreciate you. Have everybody tune in to the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is dope. Like, this is amazing. Like, I really appreciate everything, man. You doing your thing too. So, yeah.
So I appreciate folks tuning in to the Frankly Francisco podcast, and we will see you next episode. Everybody have a good night. See you later.
Peace.